joined today by the one and only Lance Gibson Jr., coming off a successful debut with Bellator 232. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's awesome. After that victory, I'm just chilling out and getting ready for Julie the Bud to go in there on January 25th.
Of course, man. And before your debut, we know that some people, for the UFC, for example, they have the saying octagon jitters. For Bellator, it's not quite the same. But did you feel sort of those jitters before making the debut on the big stage?
No, I didn't feel any jitters. Obviously there's a tiny bit of nerves that you feel whenever you enter the cage, but it felt so natural. I've been prepared for it for my entire life, so it was easy to walk in there and do exactly what I needed to do.
And so you go out there, you get the win by TKO. Was this kind of how you pictured your debut going, or could it have been better for you? I mean, how do you sort of look at that?
It was exactly what I had planned. I said before the fight that I was going to be able to finish the fight anywhere it went. So my opponent ended up shooting a takedown. I sprawled, got the back, and finished the fight from there. I think they need to change it to a KO because he was flattened out completely. But yeah, it was awesome.
Fair enough. What was the reaction when I assume you get back on your phone, you go on Instagram, you go on Twitter, go back on social media? What was the reaction like? I mean, did you see a lot of positives following your fight?
Oh yeah, I've seen tons of positives. My entire family backed me from Seattle. All my friends from high school, all my friends from Federal Washington, everywhere. Vancouver, it was awesome. Even my fishermen, like friends, my friends they all followed it and watched it, so it was pretty awesome. There's a few people that say that those strikes were to the back of the head, but I laugh because it's like there's no possible way with the type of elbow that I was throwing from back mount you could hit the back of the head.
Yeah.
So I think it's just it is what it is. People will say whatever they.
But people say that, but I'm sure you as a fighter, when you're out there and you're throwing those strikes, are you making a conscious decision to make sure they remain legal and stuff? Or at this point, is it just, look, man, we got to kill this guy, we got to finish him right here?
Absolutely. I always am aiming for, I don't just throw just to throw. Everything I have has intention, and everything I do has a purpose. So I don't need to cheat to have an advantage, right? I want to use my martial arts skills to the best of my ability, and I've done it for my entire life. So when I strike, I'm aiming for something, and I'm aiming for a legal target, obviously.
For sure. Going into the fight, people have different ways of kind of, since you are a prospect, sort of telling people who you are, right? Like there's different narratives.
Yeah.
And a big narrative was that you are the stepson of Julia Budd, of course, the Bellator featherweight champion. What do you think of people kind of marketing you that way? Sort of like that, hey, here's how you may know this person.
Oh, it's awesome. So obviously at the beginning of my career, it's great because my team is awesome. I got Julia Budd, the 4-time world champ, in my corner. I got my father, MMA veteran. He fought all around the world back in the day when MMA had no rules really, and had no weight classes and whatnot. So it's awesome. As I just continue to grow in the sport and continue to go in the cage and give amazing performances, people are going to know me as Fearless Lance Gibson Jr.
You did mention your nickname, Fearless Lance. I assume the story behind it is very straightforward. You're fearless, but why did you did you choose that nickname, or did that nickname kind of happen onto you?
It was kind of given to me. My father's name was Fearless Lance Gibson Sr.
Okay.
So it was kind of just given to me. He passed it on to me from once I started competing. Obviously, one thing we do with our camp is nobody just gets a nickname or gets to choose their nickname. You're
Right.
given it through hard-earned work in the cage, obviously.
And so what's it like for you training-wise, knowing that your father is, of course, the coach of Julia Budd as well, but how is it knowing that your father is training you? Does that change kind of that coach and father and son relationship? Do you feel like it's better for you, the fact that it is your father?
Absolutely. It's definitely better because he's able to tell me things that like a normal fighter wouldn't necessarily listen to. Him being my coach and my dad is awesome. There's nothing really better than it, and he's my coach at the end of the day. He's my master, so I follow everything he tells me to do.
And since you are in a very MMA family and there's a lot of people to look up to, does that put extra pressure on you in sort of your success-wise, knowing your stepmom is a champion, your father did have his long history? I mean, does that put extra pressure on you in your career?
I don't think so. It's all about how you deal with it, I believe. I could totally put pressure on myself if I wanted to, but I don't believe that pressure is necessary. Like I know what I'm capable of. I know what my family's capable of, and it's simple. I just got to do what I know how to do what I've done my entire life. So when I get in the cage, it's like there's no pressure. It's just I just got to showcase my skills.
And when you have a family that's so heavily involved in MMA, especially at the top level, I assume there's got to be a lot of competitiveness. I mean, what's it like as family members? I assume that the competition level has got to be pretty big with a lot of things you guys do together.
Yeah, we got, like, obviously we're competitive together, but we also know how to push each other, and we drive each other to be better. So uh, yeah, it's awesome. We don't get too competitive. We push each other really hard. So it's amazing. It's honestly, there's nothing better.
And so you did talk about Julia's fight that's going to be happening in January against Cyborg, of course. So what do you think of that fight?
Yeah,
What was kind of your reaction when you found out that was the fight that was happening next?
I was excited. We've been preparing for it for her entire career, and the time is now. This is like there's no perfect time, no better time for it. So uh, Julia's going to go in there and shock the world. Everybody wants to count her out, but she's the 4-time champion for a reason. She's the best in the world for a reason. So she's going to go in there and she's going to showcase what she can really do, and definitely shock the world.
And I assume it must have been pretty cool for you guys when the fight did get announced, because I assume, with Cyborg being in Bellator, you always think like the top featherweights was always Julia and Cyborg, and you always feel like, maybe they'll never fight. But I assume it must have been pretty cool when you found out that the fight would actually be happening.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was definitely exciting. And the thing about Julia is she always has loved to challenge herself, and hungry and more driven than ever. She's more prepared. I can't express how excited she was when she heard the fight was being announced. And yeah, she's going to go in there and dominate on the 25th, and everybody's going to shock the world.
Of course, and you currently are on a 3-fight winning streak, and you did have your debut in Bellator. Was this a one-fight deal
Yeah.
with Bellator, or are we going to see you a few more times back in the Bellator cage?
Oh, you're going to see me a lot. So I plan to be. I got big plans. Right now, I'm just going to be obviously helping Julia with her training camp. I'll be back in the cage probably right after that, and then you'll see me very often. You'll see me in the cage more than I've ever been, basically. And yeah, I can't wait. I have a multi-fight deal with them, so yeah, I'm excited what's to come.
I assume it must be pretty cool for you being with Bellator earlier in your career like this, because it does give you a career stability, and we do know that Bellator are great at building guys up. So I assume for your career it must make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I'm here to fight, and I'm here to win. So basically, my last fight, I had 3 potential guys that just didn't go through, and Dominic took the fight, and yeah, it was awesome. It was a spectacular performance, and yeah, I can't wait till the next time.
And you did mention the next time. When do you think we'll see you back out there in the cage again?
Shortly after Julia. I'm hoping. I don't know what the cards are exactly, what the schedule looks like for Bellator right now, but I'm looking at hopefully February or March. That's where I'm looking at.
All right, and I do have one more for you, and then we'll let you go
Yeah.
with the Apple Store. But who do you
No
want?
worries.
Of course, man. Ideally, who do you want next? Say Bellator comes to you, and they're like, "Who would you like next?" Who do you think kind of builds up your career and gets you going in the right direction?
I'm not looking at it. I'm so focused on what I'm going to do. I'm not necessarily looking at specific opponents, but I know that I want to build myself, obviously, to be one of the biggest fighters and one of the best fighters in the world. So whoever they throw at me, I'm ready for, and I'm ready to build myself to become the lightweight champion as well in Bellator. So yeah, I'm excited.
For sure. We're looking forward to seeing what's next for you, man. Congratulations on the Bellator
Yeah.
debut, and thanks so much for the
Thank you
time,
so
man.
much. Thank you.